Let's move on to the loser side, the New York Yankees. I have no problem with the New York Yankees. I do have a problem with New York sports fans.
I do. Fuck the Yankees.
I have no problem with the Yankees. I have a problem with only problem I got with the Yankees is the one chain, cut your hair off, like real business suit way they run. I don't like that. But a couple things I got to say to Yankee fans. One, I have too many New York friends, and I don't like to see them happy on the sports side. But Yankee fans got to listen to me when I say this. Back in the day is over. There's two favorite quotes when it comes to back in the day that I like. One when Slim Charles told Bodie, the thing about the old days, they the old days. And when Tony Soprano told, I think it was Paulie, remember when is the lowest form of communication. Conversation. Look, man, this is not the 90s anymore. This is not the early 2000s anymore. The Yankees are not the Yankees anymore. Hey, the Dodgers are actually the closest you put the Astros. You know what I'm saying? That's like what an organization looks like. The Yankees ain't won a championship in 15 years. Not only have they not won a championship in 15 years, they ain't been dominant in 24. If you're under 30, you don't really remember the Yankees being the evil empire. We remember that. Some of my earliest baseball memories was the Yankees being so dominant. You had those Yankee teams with Jeter, with Paul O'Neill, when Roger Clemens was on that team. You remember that. But if you're under 30, you don't remember. All you have is 09. And 09 was so long ago. Obama's first year. Steph Curry was in his rookie season. LeBron hadn't been to Miami yet. Tom Brady had 3 rings. That's how long ago. That was one movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's how long ago that championship was. And so now you got a situation where Hal Steinbrenner, he's not like his father. Stop bringing up George. George been dead for 15 years. Oh, the boss would have never did this. It's a pointless conversation now, man. So I believe they had a good year. For the Yankee standard, obviously maybe not. But the way they played towards the end,
what is the Yankee standard anymore?
Right, well, right. You just said they haven't won in 15 years. So let
me finish. God damn it! Thank you. What I'm saying is that from how the fans think, their perception for those, it's just a bad year for them. If you really look at it the way that they're supposed to be, no, it wasn't a bad year. I didn't have them in the World Series to begin with. I had the Dodgers in there from the jump. So from that perspective, you got to look at it that it wasn't a failure. But you might have to change the way you look at stuff if you're a Yankee fan. And that number one thing has to be, you better hope they spend money on Juan Soto. Juan Soto immediately got into Scott Boras mode. Every team is on top of it right now. He won $750 million. You know what I'm saying? And that's just where it comes to. Courtney, what do you think the Yankees are going to go from here? Do you think they're going to bring Juan Soto back, or is he gone?
They ain't giving that man that money. If that man is not getting that money from him, maybe that other team in New York, but that is not. He's not giving him that money. First off, how much is Aaron Judge making? Someone refresh my memory, Mikey.
How much?
I'll tell you right now. I want to say it's like in the 4s or 5s.
It's 450.
I feel like you can't make more than the captain.
360. 9 years, 360.
I mean, I know what's going to happen just because he's younger, obviously, and it would have to be something longer term, high AAV, or if you're going to do that, shorter term, extremely high AAV. Man, Yankees ain't spending more than $55 million a year on that man. It's not happening. And that's honestly the getting in rate. That's going to be the getting in rate. I wouldn't do it. But good luck to him. I hope he gets every penny.
You said you wouldn't pay Juan Soto?
No.
Why?
Not if I'm the Yankees.
But if you're the Yankees, why wouldn't you?
He's 25, ain't he?
Yeah, he's a baby. Yeah.
I give him a blank check.
But why? No, I want to know why Courtney.
Why you have in that organization and their willingness to want to spend money to fill said holes? I'm just saying.
No, I get the logic
my
behind
team
it.
Putting all that money into that one position, and then because first off, Juan Soto's not going to be an outfielder his entire career.
Yeah,
but he got 5 more years of him being an outfielder, and then he can transition to the Shohei Ohtani thing. Let me ask you this:
with the Yankees already having such a tough and difficult time wanting to give out money, I wouldn't want, as a fan, I wouldn't want my organization giving that man the kind of money that he's warranting, because I know it's going to make up, and that's going to be the excuse moving forward about why they don't spend money.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but no.
Right. The counter to that, Courtney, is these Yankees fans just saw their pride and joy. Aaron Judge shit the bed. You go ahead and you take away the guy that carried them, literally got them to the World Series with his 3-run home run.
Yep.
When you take, and Stanton's not going nowhere, so we already know what that is. Stanton will be on the IL in May. He'll, like, we know what that is. They've seen that for years. He's not going nowhere. But if you literally don't put up even a fight, like, they're gonna have to play all of the dirty games in the press, in the media, to make it seem. They're gonna have to make it seem. They're gonna have to make it seem like they gave it their all. We're gonna see a spin, on him, on his name, whether he chooses to go to the Dodgers, to the Mets, to the Phillies, because you cannot allow him to walk out. You cannot afford to let a 25, 26-year-old player of his ilk just leave when you saw your bread and butter literally cannot do anything when it matters. And this isn't the first time that he's wilted in the playoffs. So it's really hard from a fan perspective to sell it to your fans. Like, kind of how Scott said, there's an expectation, right? They expect to always be in on the high price people. Well, you have the highest price ticket in your organization for 1 year, and you got to the World Series, and you've seen that he's worth every penny. What is your reasoning? What happened?
No, I'm just saying, in my mind, I'm just thinking that it's kind of weird that they'd be willing to give all this money to someone that, like, is literally just a hitter. Like, Shohei's getting that kind of bread because he's a legitimate two-way player. Giving that money to I just think also that's a bit astronomical.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get more than Shohei. That's my thing. I think he's gonna get 600. I think the Mets are ready to give him $600 million today, if they could offer it. But for me, I actually agree with Courtney. I understand how great Juan Soto is. That is not the debate here at all. But with the way you want to round this team out and the holes you saw in this roster, if I can get other players and spread that $600 million around, especially with your captain being 375, I understand he just fucked up, but we don't know how that's going to play with him when you come in and go give another guy $600 million. And I with you, it's easy for us to say, well, Aaron, you saw what you just did, bro. This is what we're going to do. We don't care how you feel about it. But at the same time, the way the Yankees play, the way they do business, and the way how Steinbrenner is, you saw his face. His face told you everything you needed to know. When they asked him how much money he has to pay him, he just said,
oh, shit.
But he wanted to sound like Johnson
so
shit.
You guys sound
he
like
ain't going to be here.
It's offensive to me as a fan of baseball and as a general understander of how fucking valuable
to me and my homegirls
is. Come on, man. They could afford to pay Juan Soto whatever the fuck he wants. They could afford to get all the fucking best starting
and that's my point.
And still do just fine.
Why can't they get creative like the Dodgers just did with Ohtani?
That's my point.
Do they want to get creative?
But
that's the real question.
But I think this is why the Dodgers got creative for this moment right here.
But see,
it's like you saw their outfit wasn't the greatest.
Even with the Dodgers getting creative, like if you the Yankees, they don't want to pay the $5. They just don't want to pay the $5. But if you want to beat the Dodgers, if we all think the Dodgers are going to be in conversations, you're gonna have to pay a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I would rather have Juan Soto and they get creative with the other holes on the team than to say, oh well, if we get these 3 players, maybe they'll match Juan Soto's production. No, just get Juan Soto and then get creative with the other stuff. To me, that's way more impressive than that. But I do agree with Courtney and Dante. In fact, I don't think they're going to sign him. But that's how I will move. I don't get we got Juan Soto at home. That to me, that's a terrible way to go about it.
The way you said it right there, Scott, it's like, go ahead, Dante.
Now I was gonna say he's gonna be wearing a certain shade of blue, at the Met blue or Dodger blue, bro. At the end of the day, this is him saying, "Hey, I'm open to all 30 teams." Is really him saying, "Who got the biggest bag?" Like we know that eliminates
I don't blame him.
Yeah, at all. That eliminates like 26 teams, bro. Like let's just be real here. It's a couple adventurous owners out there, but it's only a couple big dogs that can really afford to pay this man.
Juan Soto, you are Cincinnati Red.
Personally, I would love to see him with Lindor and the Mets and kind of like what they have because of the flexibility You got young guys already under control that you can kind of build around the team. You got some pitching. But outside of that, folks need to go back to the Dodgers or to the Padres. Just go back to the Padres.
I don't think he likes living.
I think it was difficult being traded mid-season.
Talk about winning the Juan Soto trade.
Oh yeah,
right.
I feel like that is the perfect team to compete with the Dodgers. They're more equipped to compete with the Dodgers than the Yankees, and the blueprint is there. Win the National League, and you're gonna get to the World Series, and you're gonna have a good chance. So and more than likely, you're gonna win it. So those are the two teams I would like to see him go to the Mets or to the Padres. And I don't want him to go back to the Yankees because I've been telling all my Yankee fans, similar to you, Scott, that are my boys, this ain't the old days. You're not held in those regard. It's not like everybody saying, oh yeah, people want to come to the Bulls because Mike, that was over 20-something years ago. These kids don't know Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada. They've never seen that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot.
Bernie Williams, postseason god.
They don't know Hideki Matsui. They don't know these guys. They grew up seeing, and you think about it from, if you were born in 2007, 2008, as we're getting up there, they know the Astros. They know the Dodgers. Shit, they know the Red Sox. They don't know the Yankees like that. So I don't think they're in that light anymore. But if you're the Yankees, you need to find a way to get back in there, and that you can't do that without Juan Soto.
I'll say this: there's two things, and then I know Ben. I don't know if you have something to say, but there's two things. One, that 2004 ALCS kind of really changed the perceptions of both organizations, which is very, very crazy. And number two, Yankee fans, you're not there yet, but you're very, very close to being like Cowboys and Bulls fans. You're very close. When you keep talking about the glory days, you're very close to that. Bang, I know you said, in the words of future Rikers Island inmate Sean Diddy Combs, I don't want the car to look like the Phantom. I want the Phantom.
Yeah, because I heard, I don't know if it was Mikey or Courtney that had mentioned that you could use that money to get like multiple. Nah, man, I remember when dude got called up in DC and they was going crazy. Like you knew that you had the next Mickey Mantle on your team as long as Buddy Ass don't get hurt. So to see what he's done for at least two franchises right now, bringing titles to two franchises and shit, man, you got to pay the $5. You got to pay the $5 because like Scott said, you're running dangerously close to, remember the days, you're dangerously close to Benny Siegel and Eve rapping on the damn banister. Right. You're dangerously close to
track 5 on the region.
Right. Don't get me wrong. It's good to have Judge and Giancarlo and stuff, but you gonna need that boy to not only bring
Stanton from Sherman Oaks.
Right, Giancarlo. But nah, you're gonna need that boy, and you're gonna need somebody that's just gonna be around for years. Also got to remember, I know in baseball terms, they ain't necessarily the oldest, but when you got somebody that's still in their mid-20s, you need a face of the franchise. And that's the person that's going to be the face of the franchise. When you pay him $700 plus, that man is going to be the face of your franchise for years to come. You're going to need somebody like that. So if the Yankees don't do it, hey, the Mets going to go ahead and pay the $5.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not